2018, 2019 pre-AP final review. This is your entire test, right? All 50 questions, all right here. Number 1 is number 1, number 2 is number 2, number 3 is number 3, number 4 is number 4. I changed no multiple choice, no nothing. You're welcome. I'm only going to work out the evens. All right. So let's get started so we don't make this a 45-minute video. So for number 2, I'm going to bring down the 140. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times a negative 6a, that's a positive 24a. I'm going to get the letter a by itself, so moving the negative 4 by adding the 4. That goes away. 140 plus 4 is 144. And that's equal to 24a. Get the a by itself, so we need to divide by the number in the front, divide by 24. And 144 divided by 24, 6? Yeah, it's 6. So number 4 here, let me write it down here. So it's negative 40 minus 5p is equal to negative 8 times p, that's negative 8p. Negative 8 times a positive 8, that's negative 64. Now remember that when you have letters on both sides of the equal sign, move the smaller one to make it easier. Negative 5, negative 8. Negative 8 is smaller, so put a plus 8. These cancel. Bring down the negative 40. What the heck? Negative 5p plus 8p, that's a positive 3p, is equal to negative 64. I want to get the letter p by itself, so I'm going to move the negative 40. I'm going to add 40. Those cancel. Bring down the 3p. Negative 64 plus 40 is negative 24. Divided by my 3. And gives us negative 8. Ooh, square roots. Remember these numbers. Remember these numbers? 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, they're all right here. These numbers we have to divide by. So, let's start. 150 divided by 4. 150 divided by 4, decimal, so that's not right. So the 4 is not good. 150 divided by 9. That's a decimal, so that's wrong. 150 divided by 16 now. It gives me a decimal. I don't want a decimal. And then the next one in line is 25. And that gives me 6. Excellent. So then that means that the square root of 150 is equal to the square root of 25 times the square root of 6. The square root of 25 is 5. Bring down the square root of 6. Right there. Same thing here. 216 divided by 4. That's a decimal, I don't want it. 216 divided by 9. That gives me 24. So that's okay, but I want this number to be small. Remember, you want this number to be as small as possible. So I'm going to keep on going and see if I can get something else. 216, what's after 9? Then 2, 3, 4, 16. 216 divided by 16. That gives me a decimal. 216 divided by 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 40. I just have to have them written down. Alright, so 25. 216 divided by 25 decimal. 216 divided by 36. There you go, that's what I'm talking about. It gives me a 6. That's what I like. So that means the square root of 216 is equal to the square root of 36 times the square root of 6. The square root of 36 is 6, and then the square root of 6 is the square root of 6. Alright. Solve for x. GF is x minus 3. FE is 2x minus 7. The whole thing from G all the way to E is 11. Okay? That means that if you add this part here and you add that part here plus 2x minus 7, that equals the whole thing, which is 11. Okay? Now, you can see the color I'm talking about. It's the green plus the blue equals the pink. If you add the two smaller pieces, you get the whole big piece of the line. Correct? If you add the two smaller pieces, you get the big piece. That's exactly what I'm doing here, okay? It's called the segment addition postulate. Okay? So let me add the like terms. We have 1x, we have positive 2x. That gives us 3x. I have negative 3 and a negative 7. That is a negative 10. Is equal to 11. I'm going to get the x by itself. How do you move negative 10? Well, you add 10. 3x is equal to 11 plus 10. That's 21 divided by the number 3. And 21 divided by 3 will give us 7. Same thing on this question, except here, they're not saying find x. They're saying find SQ. 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 This is SQ, my yellow part. How much is all of this? Well, I know how much x is. I just plug it in for x and do x plus 6. But so I need to solve it the exact same way I did before. I'm going to get this piece right here. 10. I'm going to add it to the next piece of the line, which is 2x minus 12. And that equals the whole line from here all the way to here, which is x plus 6. Now we just do some algebra and combine like terms. I have a 10 and I have a minus 12. 10 minus 12 is negative 2. Plus my 2x is equal to x plus 6. I have x's on both sides. Subtract your smaller x. Subtract 1x. Subtract 1x. That cancels. Bring down the negative 2. 2x minus x, so that's still 1x, is equal to 6. How do you move a negative 2? You add 2. So 6 plus 2 is 8. So x is equal to 8. Again, it's not asking what x is. It wants to know what SQ is. And remember that it's SQ is the yellow one I had here. That is x plus 6 right here. So put 8 right here. 8 plus 6 will give us 14. You also know what an acute angle is, obtuse, right, or straight, I hope. If not, look for your notes or ask me. This angle is obtuse. Right. BCW. This is 26 degrees. WCD. That's 90 degrees. How much is angle BCD? BCD. So I want to know all of it. How much is the entire angle? How do you find the entire angle? Well, you add 26 plus 90. 6, 11, 116. All right. Find x if the measure of UQP is 32. UQP. This is 32. RQP. So the whole thing is 103x minus 1. RQU. So this one right here is 70x. Find the measure of x. So this is just like before. If you add the two small angles, you get the big angle. The smaller angle is 32. Plus the next smaller angle, 70x. You get the big angle on the outside. The big angle is 103x minus 1. And then you solve for x. There's x's on both sides, so subtract or move the smaller one. The smaller x would be 70, so subtract 70x. That goes away. This is 32 is equal to 103 minus 70. 103 minus 70. 33. Don't forget the x and then the minus 1. Get the x by itself. How do you move the negative 1? U plus 1. So that gives us 32 plus 1 is 33 is equal to 33x divided by the number in the front. And 33 divided by 33 is 1. X is 1. Okay, all of these are in your notes somewhere. Make sure you find them. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. Again, if you're not sure, find your notes because you need them for the next few questions. Find the angle missing. From here to here, a straight line is how much? 180. So then you're missing a piece, so 180 minus 120, that's 60. So it's missing the piece right here, so this is 60. Oh, on this one right here, you need to know whether these angles are equal or equal to 180. Use your notes. For my question 24, all of this is equal to 180 when I add them. X plus 125 plus 60 is equal to 180. 125 plus 60, that's what, 185? Subtract the 185. That's negative 5. All right, looking for the midpoint. The midpoint formula. So the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay? Wrote that down, right? Excellent. So this is x. This is the y. This is the x. This is the y. This is the first point, so they have the 1s. This is the second point, they have the 2s. So x1 is 1 plus my x2, that's 6. Divide that by 2, comma, y1 is 3, plus my y2 is -1, divide that by 2. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 or 3.5. 3 plus a -1, well, that's 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Divide that by 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Ooh, find the other midpoint. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so TSI question. There's the midpoint. These are endpoints. Okay? Midpoint is -6, comma, -6. The endpoint is 3, -2. Okay? It depends which one you want to use. You know what I mean? Do you want to use the X or do you want to use the Y? It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's up to you. So I'm just going to use the Y's. Okay? So I have a number line. Here's -2. Right? That's -1, that's 0, 1, 2, 3. Here's -3. Here's -4, here's -5, here's -6. If my middle is right here, but my endpoint is right here, how far away is that? It is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. But if this is my middle, if this is the middle, this is the endpoint, right? So technically I should have written this over here, but I didn't know. Does it matter? No, because I figured it out on the number line, right? So here's my endpoint, here's my middle. Okay, if this is my middle, I have to have a number over here somewhere for it to be the middle. How much? Well, then you just add. I went 1, 2, 3, 4. I went 4 this way, 4 spaces. I need to go 4 this way for it to be the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. What number is that? This is -7. This is -8. This is -9. This is -10. Here it is, -10. -10 has to be the Y because I am only messing around with the Y's. -10. So like if you're like, I don't know how to do that, sir. That's confusing. Some people can just get it easily. Some people are like, I don't get it, that's a 0. Algebraically, if you want to do everything with algebra, we're only going to do the Y's again. You're going to do this. Y1 plus Y2 divided by 2 equals my middle Y. Well, do I know my Y1? Yeah, it's right here. It's -2. Plus the Y2 I do not know, divided by 2 equals the middle Y. Do I know the middle Y? Yeah, middle Y is -6. How do you get rid of a divided by 2? You times 2. Let's cancel. You have -2 plus the Y2 is equal to -6 times 2 is -12. How do you get rid of a -2? You add 2. So the Y that you're looking for is -12 plus 2, which is 10. I mean -10, hello. Right there. Either way, answer. Oh, distance formula. Distance. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So x2 is -5. You have to put a minus sign because that's the formula. Then x1 is 3, parentheses squared, plus parentheses y2, y2 is -5, minus my y1, which is 7, and then squared, and then all this has a square root. Now you can put all this in the calculator, but it's worthless because it gives you a decimal, which is fantastic. -5 minus 3 is -8 squared. -8 squared is 64 because -8 times -8. Negative 5 minus 7, that's negative 12. And negative 12 squared is negative 12 plus negative 12, that's 144. So you take the square root, and then you get 64 plus 144. And you get the square root. That's 208. But the 208 gives you a decimal, which sucks, but I like. So let me erase all this real quick. Oh man, the bell's gonna ring. The rest of your video might be without sound, FYI, right? Because I can't make it in class because this class is a 0. Makes a lot of noise. So then you start dividing these numbers by 4, 9, 16, 25, blah, 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 over and over. So to save time, 208 divided by 4 is a decimal. 208 divided by 9 is a decimal. 208 divided by 16 gives me 13. And I mean, I hope by seeing the 13 you would choose this one. Because the square root of 16 gives us the 4 in the front, right? Oh, this is going to be those questions where it's remember there's no ass forward and backwards in geometry, right? All the other ones work. I think I'm gonna stop the video and sound and just do it. I'll keep doing to the bell rings. These two triangles are touching. They're touching at an angle. That's an angle. That's an angle, and this is a side. Sir, can I go this way? No, you can't skip the angle here. It has to be consecutive. Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Check the bottom to make sure. Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Oh, 34 is Papa's. Side, 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 side. Find the missing side of each triangle. Oh man, this one is going to be a pain in the butt. Where is it? Oh, these. Remember special right triangles? Oh man. Special right triangles. So these 4 questions are probably be your hardest. And I'm going to do them without sound, so that even sucks even more. Remember your tables. Right, let me come back over here. What number am I on? Oh, here it is. How do you find the missing side of this right triangle? You use the Pythagorean theorem. Remember, in the notes we went over, that gave you a shortcut. This is the C. Do you have the C? Yes. So what happens if you have the C? What do? Do you add or subtract? If you said subtract, awesome. If you said add, 0. 10 squared minus 8 squared. Take the square root. Right? 100 minus 64, 36 root, yeah, it's 8. Remember, if you have the C, subtract. If you don't have the C, do you have the C here? No, you add. 38. Do we have the C? Yes, so subtract. 8.1 squared minus 5.5 squared. Put that in the calculator. 8.1 squared minus 5.5 squared. 5.9. Oh, here we go. Pythagorean theorem. I mean, not Pythagorean theorem, I'm sorry. Special right triangles. Remember the table? The 45, 45, 90. X, X, X square root of 2. Okay? I have the one across the 90. So this is 5. So that means that x times the square root of 2 is equal to 5. You get x by itself, divide by the square root of 2. Then can we have the square root of 2 in the bottom? No. So how do you get rid of the square root of 2 in the bottom? You multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. 5 times the square root of 2 is 5 times the square root of 2. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 gives me the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. So this is equal to x. Here's my x. This is 5 square root of 2 over 2. This is 5 square root of 2 over 2. The only one that has 5 square root of 2 over 2 is letter B. I forgot some of the answer here. You'll figure it out. You got this. Oh, it's Papas. Y'all got this. Number 32, 42, sorry. 30, 60, 90. X, what was it? X, 2x, x square root of 3, I think. Hold on. No, that's a 0. That's wrong. This is 2x. I think this is x square root of 3. I think. I gotta look it up. Just put you all. Oh man, the bell rang. You all need to what do you call it? See, 9:45 first period, 9:46. I'll fix this right now and I'll start working on it, and then we can go from there. And remember, the rest of the video will not be in half sound. 0.